think we're live now. And, okay. And you guys, we're live. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic podcast. I'm really excited to have my guest today. This is her second time she's on my show. I have with me Dana Knoetgen. She's a psychic, podcaster, oracle card reader, and photograph reader. She's the creator and host of Light Talk with Dana, where she blends intuitive insight with engaging interviews to explore the more metaphysical and paranormal realms. Dana's awakening began in 2018, and she has since trained with certified psychic medium Kim Nicholls, refining her abilities as a clairvoyant, counselor, and energetic guide. She launched her podcast in 2023 and featured numerous prominent guests like Preston Dennett, who's been on my show as well, at Paranormal Seekers, and Sue Walker. Dana is on a mission to develop her mediumship and channeling gifts while helping others recognize their own signs, synchronicities, and paths. And tonight we'll cover topics like psychic photograph readings, what they are and how they work, Dana's spiritual awakening and meeting the lightning psychic, paranormal encounters and podcast revelations, her journey into oracle cards, healing, and spirit guidance. And she'll even do a couple readings for you guys as well, too, so maybe. Yeah. So with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Dana, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you. You know, this is cool. So where can we start? Okay, so did you want to talk about like how this all started for you, for people that might have not saw you last time on here?
Yeah, I didn't know I had experiences or anything until about 2018 when I met a psychic, Shane Smith, and he kind of explained a lot of this because I was like, I didn't know anything more about it, and he helped me understand it. And ever since then, I've been remembering things from when I was 6 years old. So it's been a great journey. I've learning a lot about myself and having lots of experiences throughout my time. So it's been fun. Yeah.
So you had experiences when you were young though too, right?
Yeah. When I was around 6 years old, I was walking past my grandma's trash cans. She had 55-gallon barrels that she would burn her trash in. And I walked by it one time and I saw little faces poking over them, you know. It scared me. I had no idea what to do. I never walked by those trash cans by myself again. But about the same time, there was 6 of us kids out there playing. And we got to see a large footprint that we were all like, whoa, this is crazy. And they all thought it was my dad's footprint. And I'm like, I remember thinking, no, that was too big for dad's foot, you know, but we all sat there and was like, oh, with it. And then as I got into the work world, I started having missing time. I was seeing things in mirrors. Just experiencing all kinds of things, dreams of visiting a friend of mine that had passed. And so I got to visit him.
Tell us a little bit about the missing time. Like what happened? Like, do you think you were abducted?
I believe something happened during that time. I would be driving I had a night job. So I was going to work at like 2 a.m. One time I locked the house door and I don't remember turning around, walking to the street to get in my car, driving 30 miles with multiple turns to get to work, parking at work, walking into the building, which is a little walk, not too bad, but having our meeting at work. And then I was talking with the guys, and that's when I came back. I don't remember anything between. So it's like something happened. I'm just not sure yet what happened.
Oh, do you remember having a UFO sighting or anything like that, like around that time?
No, I don't remember any UFO sightings or anything like that during those times. Um, but I did have a time when I was living in my first apartment by myself that I woke in the middle of the night to 60 T's in my room, 6 grays. And one was outside my window, 3 were at the end of my bed, 1 on the side of my bed, and 1 in my closet. So that was kind of not like scary in the sense that they're going to hurt me or anything, but just scary in the sense that it was like, whoa, this isn't supposed to be right, kind of scary, so that was kind of crazy. They paralyzed me, so I couldn't move. I can only move my left hand up to wrist. The rest of me, I couldn't move at all.
Wow. What do you think was happening? Do you think they were using you for hybridization or something like that?
I've been thinking that they were protecting me from possible gunshots that were going on around that time frame with me. So I think there was some protection there. I recently had some experience with I don't know. All I could think of is that it was a DNA upgrade or something like that. This happened back in February. This, I believe, happened after your show. I was driving into work, and in a 15-20 second time frame, I remember trying to speak, but I was like focusing very hard on what I was trying to say. And I'm carpooling with someone, and she was noticing that I was driving much different than I normally do. I was like spacing out. I was like in this zone. My speech went really slow. So I was like really slow talking.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And she noticed I was driving faster than I normally do. And so she noticed some differences within me in that time frame. And then I felt myself like be shoved back into my body. And then I opened my eyes and I was like, whoa, that stop sign came up awfully fast. And that was about it. And we started talking about this a little bit at break. And another lady that was sitting there, and her daughter works there also. And they were, the mom was talking, and she's like, yeah, I saw this light and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? And her daughter's like, you're crazy, Mom. You're out there. What's going on? What are you taking? And but yeah, so I know something happened at that point.
Wow. And you think it was an upgrade? That's amazing. Have you had anything that's made you have you had any symptoms that like made you think this was definitely an upgrade or something that happened? Like, have your like psychic abilities been turned on more, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't, I'm not even sure about what all happened, because I did, like a couple months or so later, I did have like these markings on my leg that felt like mosquito bites, but they weren't mosquito bites. They were something completely different. And I just recently had a reading done, and she was saying that she had the same type of markings, and
Wow.
that I have DNA of the mantis, the Lemurian, and a touch of grays. So she was thinking that the grays were just coming in and touching base with me, checking on me, and things like that. So that kind of put a twist on what I've been thinking about all this time. So now I'm on a new journey here, trying to find out more about Lemurians and the mantis to see what's going on.
So you might have ancient past lives in Lemuria and Atlantis, probably, like, which I think, honestly, I think a lot of us do that are here right now, that especially, I mean the ones in our community. I think, a lot of us had past lives together in Egypt and Atlantis. And that's why I think people are coming together now, because, it's this awakening point, and we're experiencing something like no other time in human history, which is like, somewhat of like an ascension, or at least a human evolution to a new form of consciousness, I think it's kind of undeniable, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, like, say this only happened like a week ago, about a week ago on Father's Day weekend. So, I mean, it's still like kind of messing with my head a little bit right now. So I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
So just kind of out there learning more about everything and trying to find out more about my DNA, if that's the case,
Yeah. Are you gonna pursue like any like regression work?
I have done one past life regression, but I haven't gone any further than that at this point. I would like to maybe check into some more and get more of like a DNA kind of more check-in. Like, who am I in with the ET world? Who am I? I mean, I'm sure I've got more than just the two in me, but yeah, so I'd like to just find out more about who I am.
Yeah.
Where I've come from, these star seeds,
Yeah, I would agree. Yes, what happened when you met the lightning psychic? What kind of flipped that switch?
Once he started talking to me, I did start having a few experiences at that job because I met him at work. And it was just kind of crazy. And it's like, wow, I can do this. And it just kind of got my interest going. I went into like this great big squirrel thing, like, oh, squirrel. Oh, squirrel. Oh, that's cool. Squirrel. It's just, I just went in so many different directions. And so I got to get a touch of all kinds of things that I can go into and all of that. But I just had this knowing that I needed to go into mediumship and channeling. So I'm finally focusing in. So I'm working my way towards that.
That's cool. So how does psychic photograph reading work for you? Is it more like, is it different than a traditional reading? Like,
it's just like having a picture of a past loved one, just a picture of them. And then I get information off of them about who they were and little different things about them. And I go more with claircognizance.
Okay, so it's like a knowing. Yeah.
A knowing. Yeah. So it'd be a knowing. I just kind of know it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, and are you able to pick up like, so when we do readings today, is it better if people show you their picture? Like,
I read faces. I do a lot of the reading of faces. Last time we went with just the names, and that worked well too. So we can try either way.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I was gonna say, are you able to see auras as well?
I have seen an aura once, one color, but I have seen apparitions. So I've seen like a white shadow, like instead of a black or a dark shadow or a shadow person. I see it in more of like a light. So it's just like the shadow of the sun, so it's a bright color, a bright white that I see moving.
That's so cool. That's really cool. Someone in the email wants to Michelle wants to email me her picture, but I think you have your picture up on the screen, Michelle, so you should be fine. Well, we could use that one when we comes time to do let me see here. Okay, so how's things when you have a podcast? Well, wait, let me back up to this. You were talking about your experiences, and then we went in another direction. Did you want to talk about some of your other experiences?
I've had several different experiences. I can go with spirit helping me with an accident. I could say that one. Let's go with it. I was on my way to work one morning, and I got to this light, a four-way stop, and I was in the center lane to go straight. And I had this voice inside saying, "You need to get gas," which there was a gas station right there on the corner. And I argued with them saying, "No, I don't need gas. I've got plenty of gas. I can get gas after work." And they said, "Nope, you need gas." I'm like, "Nope, I don't." We just argued back and forth. And then next thing I know, my car was moving into the turning lane. They had taken over the wheel, took over the whole car, and took me into the turning lane. And I said, "Okay, I guess I'm getting gas right now." So we stopped and we got gas, and it was like sub-zero temperatures that morning. It was really cold. And so the gas pump was going really slow. So the gas was like coming out like plunk, plunk. It was just so slow. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, okay, it's going to be late for work, And I finally get to the point where I was just about at work. I was up, and there's a little creek, and then on the other side of the creek is where I worked. Well, I get to that point, and there was some sort of accident. I don't know what happened, but the ambulance was there, and they were pulling somebody on a stretcher.
Oh my God.
I still don't know what happened. I don't know anything except for they pulled me aside to get gas, because they needed that to happen and not have me there, because I would not have been able to handle what happened. Yeah.
That is so crazy. That like the spirit stepped in and like saved you like that. That's amazing, Dana. Like, that's really amazing. Like, and who do you think? Who do you think? And I would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to.
Oh no, you're fine. I would never have thought anything like this, because this was before I met Shane, and I was like, "Oh, there's like, that wouldn't happen, that just doesn't happen." And it definitely changed my mind that there is spirit out there, and they are watching over us, and they know when it's our time or not.
Yeah,
and they will stop it.
Yeah. Who do you think spirit is? Like, do you think spirit is like your past relatives, or do you think, or one in general, like maybe your grandmother, or I don't know if your parents are in spirit or whatever, but like, like who do you think is influencing you? If or not, I think like, who do you think spirit is in this case, or do you think it could be anyone?
It could be anyone. I think you have a whole team of spirit that's helping you, and they help you out in their specialty. So like this one here was helping out with my life, protecting me in the life. And I think others just kind of, okay, well, you need to understand this message, so we're going to send you this message. So they all have their own little specialties, like whether it's in your health or in your education or in your love life or this or that. They all have their own specialties. And I think it's a group effort. It's like raising, takes a village to raise a child. Well, I'm the child and they're the village. I mean, there's a lot of people watching over, and they just step in when they need to.
Yeah. Have you ever picked up like an entity or energetic attachment from doing readings?
I have not. Not that I know of. I don't feel anything on me. I did, driving to work one time, I did feel somebody in my back seat. I tried to kind of see them. I couldn't really see them, but I felt them there for about a week. And then one early morning, I heard this raspy voice saying, "Help me." And I'm like, okay, you need help. You need help going, transferring over. And I go, okay, just go follow the light. You know, you have relatives over there. They're waiting for you. And, you know, kind of helped them over. And I haven't heard from them since. So that was the only like attachment that I kind of felt. But he just needed help to go over.
That's amazing, though. That really is. That's And then I was going to ask you about your podcast. Like you've interviewed people like Preston Dennett and Sue Walker. What's one experience or guest that totally like kind of blew your mind or validated your gifts?
Ooh, they're always blowing my mind. They each have their own special little story, and each one I just go in awe with them. You know, they all have such experiences, being able to speak to spirit, being able to be around them. And I think there's not one that really jumps out because they all do. They're all very special stories, and I just love that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what's your vision for Light Talk with Dana? Are you building like a psychic network or anything like that?
I am right now. I'm kind of working on both. So I do right now card reads, and then if anyone has any stories they would like to share of their experiences, you know, you're more than welcome to come on and tell your stories. So I'm kind of doing card reads and stories. So it's kind of a blend.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. And do you feel the veil is thinner now in 2025 than before? Like, you think more people are having contact with spirit?
I hear a lot of that now. I do believe that. I do believe that the veils are thinning. It may not look like it right now, but I think what we're going through is kind of, in a sense, like a test for us. Are we going to go with the negative, or are we going to go with the high vibes? You know, so that's partly what my show is about, is just kind of helping everyone to know that they've most likely have had an experience and maybe not want to talk about it, scared to talk about it, or just not sure if they are crazy or not. So yeah, I think having all these kind of shows is helping that veil thin and helping people raise their energy to go to the positive, go to the high vibe.
I agree. You've also trained with Kim Nicholls. Like, who is Kim Nicholls, and like, how does she help your abilities evolve? Yeah.
Kim Nicholls is a psychic medium. She helped me. I took her card reading class, so she helped me to learn how to read oracle cards and open up my clairs. So I'm able to can bring all that together and take it to working towards the new level of mediumship.
That's amazing. And then have you started receiving like mediumistic downloads or channeling higher stuff like that?
Recently, not really channeling just yet. I have had my voice kind of go a little funky once or twice. I felt energy within my chest, like it was trying to speak or so, but nothing's really come through. But I'm feeling closer and closer to that.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
It's coming, but it's. I mean, it takes time, and with working a full-time job, and then working with the podcast and everything, it takes a lot of time. So, my time's kind of short for meditating and working with that energy as much. So
I can imagine. Yeah. But it seems like the people that you work with are really awake or something like that. Or you work with people that are like more awake than like the normal people in the world.
With my podcast, absolutely. Yeah. With the podcast, working with that, those people are so amazing.
Yeah. Well, should we do a couple of readings, or what do you think? Like, do you want to try to do a couple of readings?
Let's shoot for it. Let's go for it.
Okay. Do you want to do me first? And then if you guys have Michelle emailed me some pictures she wants you to look at.
Okay.
They're like more of like landscapes, and she feels there's entities over them. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do that first. Like, I'll pull. I'll see if I can pull it up, and then because sometimes it takes a while to load.
Okay.
And she wanted to get your. Yeah, let me see. I'll try to pull it up right now. But yeah, that would be cool.
How's your entity?
It's coming along better, I only seem to be getting like attacked at night, like I basically, fought him off. I fought it off, and then I felt like I was like trying to burn it out of my body, not with like anything harmful, but like, like just by exercising and raising my body temperature, like wearing stuff that like makes me sweat more to like try to literally like, because it felt to me like it was more like an energy, like it felt to me like it was some kind of like, I don't know, like an entity with like an AI and influence to it. So to me, it felt like somewhat technological too. So I was like, well, maybe I need to, someone said, burn it off, burn it out of your system, like, and that's worked somewhat, but I still get bothered at night sometimes. Like I was getting bothered last night, but it's nothing I can't handle. It's real weak. It's real weak attacks. It's like, it's just more annoying than anything. That's yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to pull up these pictures. Yeah. Yeah. Do you deal with a lot of people who have entity attachments and stuff like that?
I've spoke to a couple people that have had exorcist done on them. So yeah, wow. The one played with the Ouija board when she was younger, so that kind of probably brought in some things that she shouldn't have brought in. But yeah, I mean, it happens, and I hear different things about that. Like some people think that it's like the devil or what, or negative energies. Some people I've been hearing is saying that they are just lower vibe people. So I mean, yeah, kind of go with how you're looking at it. Maybe the situation that was going on.
Yeah, I'm trying to load these pictures that Michelle's. Oh, here they are. Okay. She said this is around an area. I think this is around Pittsburgh. Let me see if I can show you these and see what you go up with. Like, I'll hit present and share screen. I think she says there's ones that are like a woman's sunglasses, a dragon, and a and it's in the. Oh, let me see here. I want to share my entire screen and allow. And you should be seeing it now.
Not yet.
Okay, you give it a second. It'll come up.
Here it is. Can you make it larger?
Yeah. Let me. How do I make it larger? Let me see. No, zoom. There we go.
Yeah, there you go on the bottom. Yeah.
I think she thinks those. She's saying those are entities all over that landscape.
I do see an entity there. I see an entity that has kind of humanized face, but like fish lips, if that makes sense. Uh-oh. Yeah, and they're kind of curled up. So it's kind of like surrounding that area. And what I've been told is when you see something like this, the direction that the face is looking towards is where they live. So this entity here is living in the green area there. So that's where they're living. So that's kind of like their territory, and that's what they look like. So they have like a mixed face is what I'm seeing of humanized to like fish like fingers. So it's almost like it's got the hand. Yeah.
Oh, like it's pointing to something. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. Kind of like he's doing like this. Yeah.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
And then if you look above him, like where she is outlined, it looks like there's another entity above him because you can see two arms outstretched. It's like it's pretty, I don't know. Yeah, it's strange. I'll move to the next one. I'll see what it's next. This is the next one. I might have to zoom out for this, but I think this is a dragon. You can see it like outlined on the bottom. Do you want me to move it, bring it up?
Yeah, if you can get it larger, that'd be great.
That's not.
Uh-oh.
It disappeared. Did you guys see that? It just disappeared out of nowhere. Maybe if I zoom out. It just disappeared. I don't understand how that happened.
Oh,
boy. And now it's.
Well, in the second picture on the right side of that, I did see real quick, like an arm that was more like skeletal, like it was very thin skeletal with long fingers that was outreached or reaching out.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Let me stop sharing for a second because it's not good. I'll fix this. I'll try to fix it real quick. It's frozen, so I'm gonna have to reload it. And I can't believe that. They must not want us looking at it. That was crazy. It was like it just disappeared out of nowhere. Like that was bizarre. I was seeing if anybody sent a message for a reading. Like if anybody wants a reading, put your name in the chat, and then if you want to donate, you can. You can put. You can't do super chat, but you can do super chat on Rumble or you can PayPal. You know what? These aren't pulling up, so maybe we'll just move on to something else. I don't know. Yeah, but so that one was a dragon, and then I'm sorry, Michelle. They won't pull up for somebody. We were doing fine. They were pulling up, and then all of a sudden it disappeared off the screen, and it wouldn't pull back up. So they always mess with me like that. It's like targeting or something,
Maybe next time. Not time yet.
Yeah. Do you want to try to read me? You can try to read me, and then if anybody else wants to, someone wants. Okay, Jason wants you to see if you can. I know these are weird requests. These aren't. Because they're doing this because of the photos. Jason wants to know if you can connect to Art Bell behind me. Like, so you see where the green alien is behind me? There's a poster of Art Bell who is like, he was like a famous like talk radio show host back in the day. He did like paranormal talk radio. He was on late at, I don't know if you remember him. He was on like late at night. He was doing it basically at a time when nobody else was doing it. He was like a pioneer in like paranormal talk radio. They were seeing if you could tap into that. I'm moving out of the way. Like if you could see it, if you could tap into it and see what you get from it. Someone told me one time they think that poster is haunted.
I'm just seeing like a figure there. This one here has long hair. Brown hair that has like light shining on the back side of it, making it something different. But I'm getting a female sense to this one.
Wow. So do you think it's a female spirit that's like inhabiting in that poster, maybe?
Maybe, because she's looking like towards you. Then I'm now seeing another face that's looking straight ahead. That's a male. That's more human male. But the other one is almost like a light figure, a light being.
Wow, that's amazing. She said, by the way, she said, Michelle said you were absolutely right about the skeletal arm. She said the dragon was the ocean. She said she was absolutely correct about the skeletal arm.
There you go. I'm not sure what that means though, but I didn't see the full thing, just the arm, but I'm assuming that the head was like facing that direction. So that entity is in that area. They're living in that area. They have family that's living there. So I don't, maybe check into it. Maybe you might be able to connect with them if you're interested in that.
Yeah. I'll move to the next person. So this is these are people that all want readings. This is Julia Anchorhaven and from Anchorhaven Alchemy, and she says she'd like a reading, please. Whatever you could like pick up, I guess, off her photo. If you can kind of, I don't know if you can tap into the photo. Yeah.
I've never heard of this, but I'm getting like you're part of like a moth family. It's an entity. I've never heard of anything like that, but that's what I'm kind of getting. They are high vibe. And they're in a communicative. That's kind of what they're known for, is like speaking. So they're speaking their truth. They're speaking, they communicate with others, and that's different entities have their different specialties, and that's what this one here is.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, and this is just practice, guys. This is for practice so people can get readings. Okay, I'll move to the next person, and the next person is the Natural Sentient Slavka. If you can see her picture, that's her picture right there. She says she'd love a reading if possible. And guys, remember, this is just practice, so there's no pressure, Dana. Like if there's no pressure at all.
Now, I say that there was some tough times as a child. She's still struggling with some of it, but she's raising her vibrations. She's doing really good with that. Still, like I say, still some work to cleanse that shadow work, the inner child. I see her being in a business, having her own business. There is a man in her life. I'm not sure if there's some kids there, but I'm feeling like a motherly feel with her.
I get that. I like that. I guess that's it for her. Yeah, I mean, whatever you come up with, like I said, there's no pressure, and yeah.
I think her veil is thinning. She's getting there. She's working on it. She's bringing her energy up. She's got it. She's got her journey in motion.
I love that, and it's great for natural sentient. Let me see here. Let me see if anybody else, other people. I like to get people with pictures, so they, you can see them, so you can see their picture.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Sorry, I might have missed people in the audience. I'm looking to see who was next. I think Carrie Hanlon was next, but okay, yeah, Carrie. This is Carrie Hanlon. She's from Australia, and she said she'd like a reading.
You're finding yourself. You're on a search right now. You're looking to see which direction to go in life. Take a deep breath, look within yourself. You gotta just kind of hang tight, be patient, listen to your intuition. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're good.
I think you're doing a good job. I really do. And like I said, how long have you been doing readings for? You haven't been doing them that long, right? Or
no, last summer is when I had my class.
Wow. Well, then this is good practice then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
This is good.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see who else. If anybody else. Okay. This is my good friend Selena, and she says she just got home. I think she said she just got home from work. She goes by Luna Tide, but her name's Selena. She's very magical. She's like very kind of witchy, like a white witchy in a way, Very very connected to the Fae,
I see like fairy in her. I'd be curious if she has fairy DNA. I just see like this beautiful entity that just flutters. I'm seeing like she's like a little fairy sitting there. I just think she's cute. She's just very cute.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I would say that too. She's very connected to like the Fae or anything else you're picking up on her?
That's like the biggest thing. And, the fairies are very grounded. So they're very into nature. They're very into supporting Mother Earth. And that's where I would see her, is like very supportive of that and very into the natures. I see her in like this, her having a garden that's like all full of like little gnomes and all these beautiful flowers and everything. That's what I'm seeing with her.
Can I tell you, like, maybe you could give me some advice? Like, what's happening is, like, I'm very intuitive, like, and I know things about people. I can read people. I can feel people's emotions. I can read people in that sense really good. But when I look at Selena's picture and try to read something for her to get her future or, peer into her, like, I get blocked for some reason. Like, I don't know why I'm getting blocked, like, because I've been trying to like look at people's pictures and read them too, because I've been thinking about doing readings, but every time I look at someone's picture and try to read them, I get blocked.
It may be that that's not how you work. I see a lot more, I believe, in reading people's faces than sometimes the cards. Sometimes the cards work great, but I feel more connected with faces.
Yeah.
Even in the cards that I read, I see a lot of faces in them.
Yeah, I can usually tell when someone has something wrong with them, even if they're not showing it. I can sense it. It's like something I pick up on.
Yeah, that's something I got to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Slavka said she loved her reading, and Carrie said that your reading definitely relates.
Good. Yay. If those relate, you could go ahead and email me with a testimony. I'm looking for those too. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's your email? Do you want to give it out? I can put it in the chat.
Sure. It's lighttalk423 at gmail.com.
Lighttalk423 at. I think Michelle wants to send you those pictures too.
Okay.
So yeah. I think, and maybe Michelle's a really good guest. Michelle could come on your show, or you could come on hers. Like, she comes on my show a lot. She's a good friend. So, I think you'll get to know Michelle pretty well. Like, yeah.
Email me.
Anybody else want a reading? Like, while we're. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, Michelle, go ahead and email me, and then we can set something up for you to be on the show.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let me see if I had more questions for you. Let me see here. So we talked about psychic photograph readings. We talked about your spiritual awakening. What about more paranormal encounters? Have you had more paranormal encounters in your life?
Having the ETs, the Greys, visit me in my current home. I've felt them in the house a few times, and I've had shadow in my house, and so those are some there. One of the first things I remember as more of an adult is I was working a night shift at security, and I have those big old fisheye mirrors outside my little hut there. And when I looked up in that one time, I saw, oddly enough, Sherlock Holmes in the mirror. And he stayed there for about 20 to 30 seconds, probably.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool. Yeah.
But what do you think the significance was of that? Or what do you think that meant?
Maybe I'm on a search for my path, at that time. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that. Yeah. This has been amazing, Dana. We didn't have anybody else request a reading, so I guess we could finish up now. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience before we finish up? Any other stories? Do you want anything like that?
I had where I met Shane. I had one time I worked in like a little area and with an office. And one time I was standing in my office, and out the corner of my eye, I had what the footrest in Beauty and the Beast. That was the dog that was in the show. I had something very similar to that. That was really small, but it went scuttling past my doorway, and it was like in a plaid. It had red plaid. It had some other colors. It was just very colorful, and it just kind of scurried across my door. At the same place, I had my radio. I went to walk outside my door, and my radio called my name. Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
That's amazing. We did have one more request for reading. Someone donated. It was Kelly, and she says she'd like a reading if you can do it. She's a beautiful girl. She is. But
you've been very friendly with people your whole life. You're a good friend to people. You have very high vibe, and that attracts people to you. There's a lot of love within you. You have like very strong from the heart. Maybe a hard time speaking your truth, but your love is there. And I'm getting that you're looking for romance, but haven't found it yet. But the right one will come along when it's right. It'll come by. No worries with that.
Anything else for her?
I'm looking here. I'm feeling something with the family, but I'm trying to get deeper within that. Are you the only child? And you were pretty close with your family.
I think she has a sister.
A sister. Okay. And you were pretty close. The whole family is pretty close. You could talk to each other about most things. But you're pretty close family. That's probably good for the moment there, but
yeah. That was great, and I'd see if you could do a favor and do one for the Andromedan. He feels pretty low about himself. Look what he says. He says, he says, I'm a shithole and loser. You're not that, Andromedan. Stop saying that about yourself. Like, you need to be more happier about your life, dude. Like, I told him he should start a YouTube channel, because like, he's on all these channels. He goes to people's channels and watches people's videos. He probably has so much he could share. I think he should be more public, and I think he should help, and it would boost his confidence too, and he wouldn't feel like this, he's a good person. He supports my show, he's go
ahead. I'm sorry.
He's just a good person, and I worry about him, I do.
I would probably say work on some inner child work, some shadow work. It's something that's happened to you as a child, maybe as an adult. It doesn't matter. It could have been brought over from a past life. I say start checking into some of that to help kind of break open that heaviness within you, so you can start seeing the true self. And you have a beautiful heart. It's beautiful. You want to speak your truth, but you're having a hard time finding that truth. So start working on some inner childhood work. And there's lots of books out there. You could go online. I'm sure you can find meditations to help you with that. So yeah, do some searches like that, because you got a lot to live for. You've got something. I'm feeling like you're a healer. So I know that may sound weird for you right now, but start looking deep within yourself and seeing who you are, see what you are, and let's heal some of that pain. And you're going to be looking at a different person.
I would agree. I would agree with everything you said. I definitely agree. I think it's a really good point. I really do. I think that's a really good point. Now we got more people requesting readings before we go. We've only been going 55 minutes. So let me see. This is Windwalker, and I'm getting this is a guy. He says he would like a reading as well. It's kind of hard because there's no picture there, so it's kind of hard to read him, I think. But I figured I'd give it a shot. I'd have you give it a shot if you want to.
I'm getting the image that you're Native American and that you're very close to Earth. You work with Mother Nature a lot. You don't mind the wind. You don't mind being out there when the wind is blowing and all. And you just get out there and start working with the animals or with the grounds of some sort. So gardening, just taking care of your grounds and whatnot. That's what I'm kind of getting with you. That you're just very natured type of person, and you love Mother Earth.
I love that. That's amazing. It's cool that you're able to tap into people like that with not even a picture. And Kelly said, thanks so much for the reading.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, I thought this went really well, Dana. Do you want to tell people how they can find you? And yeah, this was amazing. I was just checking to make sure there was any more readings. Yeah.
No, absolutely. You can always get a hold of me through my website, and the website's on my name there. It's lighttalkwithdana.com. And you can go in there. You can get your own personal reading from there. You can find out where I'm going to be next. I am looking at another expo coming up. So check into that. I do have another podcast that I'm doing with Summer. It's called Truth and Light. We do the show most first and third Fridays of the month. So you can check into that with live readings and photo reads or dream readings. You can write in. That information is in the website. And you can write in your testimony. So we can get that on there too. So you can go to my website, or you can email me at lighttalk423@gmail.com, and we can get you set up for being a guest on the show or setting up with a card read or whatever you need.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dana. I really enjoyed having you on today. And yeah, guys, I'm going to be live again at 8 p.m. Eastern. I have Zara Starchild coming on next. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys all in a little bit. And thank you, Dana, and have a good night, everyone.